I'm Katie.
And I'm Laura.
And we are
Small Town Music.
We are two small town music teachers looking to help other small town music teachers.
So whether it's managing your day-to-day or advocating for your program, we're here to help.
Like and subscribe and follow along on our journey. Hi, welcome back to Small Town Music. This is a Katie-only episode as we're trying to figure out the best solution for our time. If you're a music teacher, if you're not yet a music teacher, you will eventually know, especially if you're a music teacher with kids and all that. But I have not given up on the podcast. I have thought about it a lot, but I will do as much as I can when I can. If that's a couple times a month, then that's what you get. If it's a couple times a week, then that would be great. My goal is ultimately to record as much as I can and push out something once a week. But life gets the best of us, as proof of the fact that we have not recorded an episode since, I think, July. So with that, I'm going to just dive right in. I will be talking today a little bit about some social things to do with your ensemble, especially as we're kind of winding down to the end of the year. I know it still feels very far away, especially on those cold spring days. Feels like it's never going to end, but it will. And I feel like spring can just really sneak up on you. We kind of get through, at least for me, we start getting through basketball season, and I start noticing our calendar has fewer and fewer events. I'm not adding more events to our calendar, but it's busy. There's just a lot, especially end of year school stuff. There's awards day and graduation, and there's field trips all over the place. There's standardized testing. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So I thought this would be a good time to talk about, number one, how I kind of survive that situation. And then also just things that can help bond your ensemble together so that you have a little more time. You have time, at least in the spring, to be able to socially connect your students with other students in the ensemble to kind of strengthen those bonds, but for you also to kind of get to know your students better, so you're not just another teacher that they see and then never talk to. So some social things that I like to do. We do hopefully a lot of basketball games. That's kind of the goal, right? If your team wins. So we get to travel to the sectional, regional, semi-state, state games, which is a lot in March. However, it's a great bonding time for your students. So one thing that I will try to do is try to take them to McDonald's or something after the game. High school kids, especially in our very small area, we do not have a McDonald's, which is good, probably better for all of us, but we have other things. But it's very exciting for high school kids. They get $10 from their parents, and they get to go to McDonald's and go wild, as much as their pocket change will allow them. So that's kind of an easy, we're already traveling, but then we also get to stop and do that. If you don't do that, if you are in a situation where they do not allow bands, you don't take them, whatever, even just finding hey, after school today, we're going to go walk down to the gas station and I'll buy everybody a treat. Or, sometimes I'll take a little trip after school, because then it's not considered a field trip. But I'll take the students and take them to Dairy Queen and pay for a small Blizzard or something. If you can't pay for something, then I think just taking them to somewhere that's different is also helpful and exciting for students too. So don't feel like you have to shell out a bunch of cash. Movie night in the band room could be an easy one. Parents could potentially bring in snacks and popcorn and stuff, and just watch any movie. It could be a musical, or it could just be a fun movie that the kids want to see. But that could be a nice hey, come and hang out and do a fun activity. or go to a movie theater. We'll all meet up at this time. We're fortunate enough to have a college nearby, so we are able to plan some field trips with that. Going to concerts, and we saw Carmen last year. That was really cool. We actually got to see the dress rehearsal, so it was free, which was awesome. We Their band concerts at the big university near us. Those are free and open to the public, so we're able to go do that. We again go get dinner or something. The kids there's like the local college joints, which can be a little tricky because they're not as good with like large groups. But if you have time and you're able to do that, that's really great. But yeah, trying to travel, do anything like that. And it's just, yeah, like literally on my notes multiple times, kids really like McDonald's, and they do. I don't know about your area, but at least in my school, they really enjoy. And I think it's just like they get to go to a restaurant and spend money, and they can buy like two milkshakes and no one will stop them, which maybe we should, but that's what it is. So that kind of goes into my portion on trying to survive the end of the school year. It feels incredibly daunting that there is just a never ending list. And like every time I think I'm caught up, like 25 more things pop up, or I remember all of a sudden like several more things. Like, oh shoot, I gotta fill out this form for this thing, and I gotta do this for this thing, and I gotta do that for this thing. And the list just never ends. That we we just have a constant, ever growing list. And I think some things to help me survive that are just trying to stay on top of my list as much as possible. Um, Planning for a little bit for what's right now instead of like what's 3 months in advance. I think I can get really stuck with the like, okay, well, I think I know what's going on right now, but what about in May? Well, okay, it's March. And like, let's just take a beat and let's get through this first obstacle. We have our countywide band festival coming up this week, actually. And so what do I need to do for that? Because sometimes I start planning so far in the future, and I think it's because I get really excited about like, oh, the end of the year is coming up. And so then I like skip over what's happening now. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, I did not do these 27 things that I have to do. So it can get really dicey in that sense. But yeah, try to stay on track with what's happening right now. And I think I've said this in multiple other episodes, if not like every single episode, but take some time for yourself. If that means taking a whole day off school because you have been at school like 12 hours a day, multiple days in a row, or you keep having events on weekends like Friday night, Saturday night, even like going in on a Sunday potentially to try to catch up. Stay away from the school building for like at least a day, if not more, if you can. Especially, it's really tempting, like on spring break and weekends, and when you have downtime to try to like, oh, I could do so much more. You can. There's always work to do. It's not gonna necessarily be worse if you take a day off. I mean, yes, taking a day off doing sub plans is frustrating, and I sometimes that's more work than it's worth, and I understand that. But for you to not go insane, sometimes you need to, and that's okay. And like turn off your email, delete the email app from your phone, like whatever you need to. Leave your phone at home. I don't know if that's possible, but do that. Try to set kind of a better routine for yourself. Like I know like I will get in a trap of like right now I have a lot of after school rehearsals, which that is not usually a thing, fortunately for me, that I have a lot of after school activities, but it's not typically like multiple times a week after school rehearsals. Like I am able to kind of go home and at least see my family or go home for a little bit and then come back and do the activity. But right now I've kind of got just a lot going on, and my husband also has a lot going on in his schedule because he's committed to a lot of different projects and things going on for himself. And so that means childcare is weird, and being able to come home and relax and stuff is weird. But I think just like trying to stick to a really good routine of like, I'm gonna wake up and do this, and I'm gonna check this off my list and first thing in the morning. I really like to make sure that like after I put my dear sweet children to bed, that I like tidy up. I don't do like a full crazy house clean, but I at least like the kitchen and living room, the places where I'm sitting currently, but also the places where I sit and enjoy my evening, then those places are picked up and tidied up. My brother calls it visual peace, which I really appreciate that term, but like the toys are put away. I have probably like wiped down the counters and swept the floors. And so for me, that's part of my routine to feel comfortable and good. And that part of that routine is also like sometimes I will just like, yeah, I need 2 hours to sit and watch TV and be a zombie, or I need to do something productive to feel less like the world is falling down on me. So, in that sense, like sometimes just watching TV, and because then I end up scrolling on my phone, it just makes it worse. So instead, I'll like, I've gotten a lot better about like, I'm gonna pick up like tonight I have nothing else going on. I need to feel productive and like I have checked something off of a list. So I'll sit and read my fiction book. Not even like not a teaching book, not a book about being a band director or music teacher or whatever, but like a book that I enjoy reading. And that makes me feel productive, even though I'm just sitting on the couch for a long period of time. That makes me feel much more productive than some of the other stuff that I try to do. Um, so, I mean, routine is all what it is. I know, like, in the thick of winter, the weather is terrible. It's dark all the time. Me personally, I have basketball games on basketball games on basketball games. And then, like, we start adding more stuff. Like, I'm directing an elementary musical, which is super fun, but it's one more thing on my to-do list. And now we're getting ready to go to a contest in May, the Music in the Parks for Kings Island. Um, and that, like, it feels like we're just adding more and more, and it's really easy to get into a situation of like, I'm going to stay up really late scrolling on my phone because I feel like I don't get free time in the evening, and then wake up not as early as I want to because I didn't go to sleep. So, like, just trying to stick to that routine has been really helpful to kind of keep me in a better headspace. At school, trying to avoiding my work, like that sounds kind of silly, I feel like, but sometimes I will do work to avoid work, if that makes any sense. Like I said, there's always something to do. I think I could work 24 hours a day for 3 months straight, and there's still like more things I could find to do. Um, so some of those things involve like concert planning for next year, or like I'll make up my schedule for next year, or I'll start lesson planning 3 months in advance, and it's like, okay, what is happening right now that I'm kind of avoiding because it's annoying or I don't want to face reality. I don't know. But kind of look at those things. So, um, this is a pretty short episode. I just wanted to make something to kind of reach out to people. I've been seeing that people are downloading our episodes, they're watching our YouTube videos. So I did want to just do literally something to keep things going and let you know that I am here. While I may not be posting and uploading every single week, I am doing my best and trying to stick to a good routine and do all the things that I would like to do, on top of all the things that I need to do to continue to like be a human and a mom and a teacher and all those things. So, things I need from you guys. I would love to hear from you. I know people are downloading. Drop us an email at smalltownmusicpodcast. So smalltownmusicpodcast at gmail.com for our email. Small dot town music on Instagram, small town music on TikTok. Just search small town music, you will find us. We have a Patreon. We do have an Etsy shop, which is small town music goods. We have t-shirts, we got posters, we got Stanley cups, we got all kinds of crazy stuff. This design, actually, if you can see it on my sweatshirt, is a design that I've put on a t-shirt, a coffee cup, some other stuff. So we have a great poster that people really enjoy. That has been like our most purchased item. It's a like proper posture for singing poster, which has been really great. Um, so come find us, come talk to us. Let me know what you want to know about. If you're college students and you have no idea what's going on and what teaching is going to be like, if you're current teachers who are teaching in the field and just like a friendly voice that knows your struggle, then like let's talk about that. But let me know. I would be thrilled to continue to make more episodes that you want and need to listen to. So yeah, find us on the social media, like, subscribe, rate, review, and we will keep making episodes. Bye.